from the coaches change. And I'm telling you right now, Kelly Christoph stated when she first got here, she wanted Indiana Fever to be like Apple. We all remember her saying this, right? We all remember her saying that she wanted to be like Apple. Well, she's kind of getting it that way, but the only thing about it is Apple had multiple things. Apple got the iPhone, the iMac, the tablet, but one thing Apple never does is take down one of their own accessories to big up a next one. So Apple won't back.
Recent revelations about an internal survey conducted by the Indiana Fever organization have raised significant questions about the franchise's priorities and strategic direction. The survey results appear to confirm suspicions that organizational decisions may be driven more by business considerations than basketball optimization. The Comprehensive Fan Research Initiative revealed striking patterns in supporter loyalty and engagement. Survey data indicated that the overwhelming majority of respondents identified Caitlin Clark's potential departure as the primary factor that would impact their continued support of the franchise. This dependency creates both opportunities and vulnerabilities for the organization's long-term planning. Analysis of the survey questions and responses suggests that management sought to distinguish between traditional franchise supporters and those primarily attracted by Clark's presence.
So Apple won't bag on the iPhone to big up the iMac. Apple won't bag on the iMac to big up the tablet or the AirPods. Apple let each individual accessory have their level to shine. And that, my friend, is why Apple is so dominant until today, and pretty much every other major company. They never ish on another accessory or anything else on their team. Stephanie White, Kelly Christoph, they're looking real spooky because they're ishing.
This differentiation represents a critical business intelligence gathering effort that could influence future strategic decisions and resource allocation priorities. The survey also explored fan perceptions about the organization's potential to become a nationally prominent franchise. Questions about becoming America's WNBA team reflected ambitious growth objectives that extend beyond local market considerations. These aspirations align with broader league expansion goals and revenue maximization strategies. Commentary from experienced observers has highlighted parallels between this situation and other high-profile athlete transitions in collegiate and professional sports. Historical precedent suggests that fan loyalty often follows individual performers rather than institutional brands, particularly when those athletes represent transformational talents.
Looking real spooky because they're ishing on Caitlin, bro. It's clear as day. They don't like Caitlin. They don't like her style of play. They don't like anything about it. They want her to be stuck in this damn motion offense. Now, one thing I would say is they better hope Caitlin Clark don't have that much fun during the All-Star game with Sandy Berlatello, because I'm telling you right now, fans is already petitioning damn near for Caitlin Clark to head to New York. And I'm telling you right now, if Caitlin could get out of this deal in Indiana, it will break
The business model implications of these survey findings cannot be understated. The organization appears to be attempting to leverage Clark's popularity to build sustainable fan engagement that extends beyond her individual career. However, this approach carries significant risks if the primary attraction factor becomes dissatisfied with organizational direction. Kelly Krauskopf's stated ambition to model the franchise after Apple's business approach provides context for understanding current organizational strategy. The technology company's success stems from creating multiple revenue streams and product lines that complement rather than compete with each other.
New York, and I'm telling you right now, if Caitlin could get out of this deal in Indiana, it will break the damn internet. She will then have saved her legacy if she can get out of here. Now, I'm not saying Indiana's in a bad way, but as of right now, it's looking real damn spooky. Now, something that the Indiana Fever did has resurfaced. Let's pull it up right now. Now, man, I've been one of the people telling y'all, bro. I told y'all, when it come to Caitlin Clark, you got to watch everything like a Hulk. I mean, you got to.
However, critics argue that the Indiana implementation fails to apply this principle effectively. The comparison reveals fundamental differences in approach and execution. Apple's success involves elevating all products within their ecosystem rather than diminishing certain elements to highlight others. The current Indiana strategy appears to create internal competition rather than synergistic enhancement of all organizational assets. Market analysis suggests that Clark's potential availability could create significant interest from other franchises, particularly those in larger metropolitan areas.
I mean, you got to watch everything like a Hulk. Because the Indiana Fever fans, we're not Indiana Fever fans. I'm going to just say it. The Caitlin Clark fans. Look, it's two type of fans. You got the Indiana Fever fans, and you got the CC fan domanium. A lot of people is part of the CC fan domanium. You will see the Indiana Fever fans out there, but a lot of people, it's the CC fan domanium.
New York's market size and existing roster composition make them a frequently mentioned destination for hypothetical trade scenarios. Such speculation creates additional pressure on Indiana to optimize their current situation. The coaching philosophy and system compatibility issues add another layer of complexity to these business considerations. Organizations typically achieve optimal results when personnel decisions align with strategic implementation rather than creating internal conflicts between individual talents and systematic approaches. Fan experience standards have also come under scrutiny as indicators of organizational priorities.
And this, my friends, has been resurfaced. It's starting to look like this entire franchise is moving based off the results of this survey. Now I wonder what y'all thinking. What y'all thinking about this survey right here? So this is a survey that the Indiana Fever did this season. Well, before the season. It stated, is there anything that would impact your Fever fandom, right?
Premium seating packages and concession policies reflect broader philosophies about customer service and value proposition. These operational details often reveal underlying attitudes about supporter relationships and revenue optimization strategies. The distinction between different fan segments has become increasingly apparent through social media engagement and attendance patterns. Traditional franchise supporters often demonstrate different priorities and expectations compared to those primarily attracted by individual player appeal. Managing these diverse constituencies requires sophisticated strategic planning.
Anything that would impact your Fever fandom, right? Everybody click this box. Caitlin Clark leaves the team. Loss of a star player, consistent poor performance, changes in team. Nobody clicked this. Everybody clicked if Caitlin Clark was to leave the damn team. You know what? We're going quick, fast, and a hurry, bruh. Caitlin Clark leave, we leave, player. This is CC Fandomanium. Now, this is the other half of this survey. It stated,
competitive implications extend beyond immediate business considerations to long-term championship viability. The organization must balance short-term revenue generation with sustainable success-building strategies that maintain both fan engagement and competitive excellence over extended periods. The survey data appears to confirm that current organizational direction prioritizes business expansion over basketball optimization. This approach reflects common challenges facing
this survey. It stated, to what extent do you agree with the statement? The Indiana Fever has the potential to become America's WNBA team. Please select one. Strongly disagree, somewhat disagree, neither agree, somewhat agree, strongly agree. Now, shout out to CCAKG because, man, she been cooking today. She been cooking today, bro. It stated, the priorities of the front office this year have been to maximize the business opportunities that have come from having.
The challenge involves capturing and sustaining that value while maintaining the core competitive mission that ultimately determines long-term success and relevance. The timing of these revelations coincides with increasing speculation about potential roster changes and strategic pivots. Front office decision makers face mounting pressure to demonstrate that business success and basketball excellence can coexist within their current framework. Public perception management represents another critical component of this evolving situation. The organization must navigate between maximizing current opportunities and maintaining credibility with diverse stakeholder groups who may have conflicting priorities and expectations.
That's basically what she has said, and I just think in general that is not what the the Fever need. That is not what the Fever need at all. Like, they don't need a coach that's going to want to slow them down because, again, the Fever don't have the personnel to win a championship. They're not going to win. Let's be honest here, they're not going to win. They can at least be fun. Like, if the Fever are going to be a 500 team, at least be a fun 500 team like last year, and not the worst possible version of the Connecticut Sun.
The survey results suggest that organizational leadership may have underestimated the depth of fan attachment to individual performers versus institutional loyalty. This miscalculation could have significant ramifications for future planning and strategic implementation across multiple organizational levels. Revenue diversification efforts appear to focus on capturing value from Clark's popularity while building independent income streams. However, the sustainability of this approach depends heavily on maintaining the primary attraction factor while successfully developing complementary revenue sources. The broader implications extend to league-wide discussions about franchise valuation, player compensation, and competitive balance.
The worst possible version of the Connecticut Sun, whose tactic is to drag teams down to their level. I've never seen anything like it before. The Fever's tactic is you have the most exciting player, the most dynamic guard in the league, and you want her to be Ty Harris from last year. I don't even know how to describe it. But take a read of this article from Robin Lundberg. Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White can't have Fever friction over Indiana offense. So, obviously, let's go back to May 24th when they lost to Liberty. Where Clark had
The Indiana situation serves as a case study for how organizations should manage transformational talents while building sustainable competitive and business models. Market dynamics suggest that resolution of these tensions will likely determine both the franchise's immediate trajectory and its long-term viability as a premier destination for elite talent. The organization faces mounting pressure to align business objectives with basketball excellence in ways that satisfy diverse stakeholder expectations. Analysis of recent interviews and public statements reveals significant tension regarding Caitlin Clark's modified role within Indiana's offensive system. Her comments demonstrate clear frustration with strategic decisions that limit her natural strengths and primary skill sets.
Obviously, let's go back to May 24th when they lost to Liberty, where Clark had her first injury, but it was the pre-game media availability that laid the groundwork for the injury debate on how Caitlin Clark's using the offense. When discussing how the Fever could improve to that point earlier in the season, Caitlin Planey said, "I think we need to do a better job of getting me the ball in transition, whether somebody is there or not. I think it's a fine balance to me playing off the ball, but getting the ball in my hands. That's what I'm at my best in transition. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that except Stephanie White." We say everybody, not our coach. Shortly thereafter, I asked why how the team finds balance. Caitlin referenced
Clark's public responses to questions about playing off ball positions contain subtle but pointed criticism of coaching decisions. When asked about reducing ball handling responsibilities, she acknowledges potential benefits while emphasizing her core competencies. Her repeated statements about what she does best suggest resistance to role modifications. Media interviews following recent games show Clark taking indirect shots at coaching philosophy through comments about forcing pace and refusing to concede to slower tempos. These statements indicate disagreement with strategic direction while maintaining professional boundaries and public discourse.
It's one thing the Fever coach emphasized how Clark would be able to get open looks. She sets great screens. Something I haven't off the ball. Caitlin's a player right now and is the most talent around that she's ever had. And our job as coach is that we figure out how to put us in position to be the best team that we can be. Like, that's clearly a that's clearly her saying, nah, Caitlin's playing off the ball. We got better players. And like, even the Natasha Howard
The organizational approach treats Clark as interchangeable with traditional off-ball guards rather than recognizing her unique skill combination. This philosophy parallels teams that would ask elite players to abandon their greatest strengths due to defensive pressure rather than building systems to maximize those talents. Robin Lundberg's reporting from May 24th highlights early friction points between Clark and coaching staff regarding transition opportunities. Clark's comments about needing better ball delivery in transition situations demonstrate awareness of underutilized strengths within current systems. White's responses to similar questions reveal philosophical differences about roster construction and player hierarchy.
Natasha Howard interview, and it's like, Caitlin needs to know that she's got better players around her. She doesn't have to do it all herself. And it's like, man, she's doing nothing herself. She's doing nothing herself. Like, but when referenced the Pacers style as a blue, White then referenced the Pacers style. in regards to buying into we over me. She specifically pointed out Tyrese Halliburton getting his teammates involved early can be a lesson for Clark, in saying that great teams are going to take that strength away if they rely too heavily on the scar.
Her emphasis on having the most talent around Clark suggests intent to distribute offensive responsibilities rather than centralizing them around their most dynamic player. The coaching staff's references to Tyrese Halliburton's adaptation to team-first approaches miss fundamental differences in player archetypes and skill sets. Halliburton's success in modified roles doesn't translate directly to Clark's situation given their different strengths and playing styles. White's comments about great teams neutralizing over-reliance on star players reflect misunderstanding of elite player utilization. Rather than building systems to protect and enhance star talents, the organization chooses to minimize those advantages preemptively.
If they rely too heavily on the star guys' generational talents. Well, then you don't take it away. You're like, you know what? If we rely too heavily, teams are going to take it away. So what are we going to do? We're going to take it away. We're not going to let the other team take away her talent because we're going to take it away. Like, that's basically what she said. Like, she's sticking. She's like, oh yeah, I like having Caitlin off the ball. Clark was a similar section. As in a question about the potential backcourt pairing at practice.
Clark's visible frustration emerges clearly in interviews about backcourt pairings and ball handling responsibilities. Her body language and tone suggest genuine displeasure with strategic directions while attempting to maintain professional composure during media obligations. Her statement about being best at bringing the ball up court represents direct contradiction of coaching philosophy. This public disagreement indicates deeper philosophical conflicts about optimal player utilization and system construction. The comparison to elite players facing similar situations illustrates the unusual nature of Indiana's approach.
As in a question about the potential backcourt pairing at practice, she parroted, and like, this is genuinely, she's pissed. She is pissed. Like, there's no way back. She's not even, like, this is Caitlin Clark. She's not very good at controlling her emotions in a lot of situations. She's pissed.
Steph has talked about kind of taking some pressure off you with Aerie kind of running points and matches and playing off the ball. Just how do you think that will help when you reintegrate onto the court?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice probably not to have to bring the ball up against pressure 94 feet. But like I said, like, that's what I'm best at.
Historical examples of teams asking Magic Johnson, LeBron James, or Luka Doncic to minimize their primary skills demonstrate the counterproductive nature of such strategies. Clark's comments about potentially playing off-ball during timeouts but maintaining natural roles during live action suggest attempted compromise positions. However, actual game implementation shows more extensive off-ball usage than her public statements anticipated. The screening emphasis in coaching directives represents fundamental misunderstanding of Clark's value proposition. Asking generational playmakers to focus on screening duties parallels historical mistakes where teams underutilized elite talents for role-player functions.
4 feet, but like I said, like, that's what I'm best at. So we're still going to do a lot of that.
They didn't. That's the problem. When the going got tough, when they did that, she won. They were winning. It's like, that's, sometimes it can be nice not taking the ball up at 94 feet, but I mean, that's what I'm best at. It's like telling Steph Curry, the teams are guarding the three-point shot, so stop taking them. It's like saying Shaq. It's like the Lakers. Imagine the 2000 Lakers literally saying this. Shaq draws double teams. So it's going to be hard for Shaq. So we're going to stop giving the ball.
White's apparent satisfaction with Clark's off-ball development conflicts with observable performance metrics and fan entertainment value. The coaching staff's priorities seem disconnected from maximizing team success and individual player strengths. Clark's shooting limitations when moving right off screens highlight tactical mismatches within current systems. Forcing players into uncomfortable situations rather than emphasizing their strengths demonstrates poor strategic planning and player development. The gravity argument for off-ball usage fails when examined practically.